Have you ever thought that your body could attack you while you exercise? And that it's not just fatigue or lack of training? Sounds crazy, right? But there is a real condition where your own body can turn against you when you exercise. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will completely change how you view exercise. My name is Marcus, and I spend too much time thinking about exercise-induced anaphylaxis. If you're someone who suffers from unexplained health symptoms after a workout, maybe you've been to the ER without knowing why, or you just feel sick after a run, be sure to subscribe and like this video if it helps you. Here's the thing. We're programmed to believe that exercise is universally good, and it is. But on a cellular level, for a small group of people, exercise can be a dangerous catalyst. Here's what most people don't realize. There's a condition called exercise-induced anaphylaxis, or EIA for short. Now, you might be thinking, Marcus, it's just my tight shorts or I'm dehydrated. No. If you experience itching, hives, swelling, or worse, difficulty breathing or dizziness immediately after or during a workout, you're not imagining it.
Let me tell you a true story that illustrates how scary it can be. A few years ago, I read about a 35-year-old triathlete, super fit, who collapsed on the track after a 5K race. It wasn't a heart attack. It wasn't heat stroke. When doctors investigated, they found that he had eaten pasta with seafood 2 hours earlier. And here's where it gets really interesting. The seafood alone didn't hurt him. Running alone didn't hurt him. But seafood plus running, that sent him to the ground. Doctors diagnosed him with FIA, a form of allergy where a cofactor, such as a specific food or medication, becomes dangerous only when combined with exercise. Exercise for these people acts as the worst accomplice you can imagine.
Now let's get into the science and physiology, but we'll keep it simple for that 5-year-old. Imagine that your immune cells have a fire alarm. Those alarms are filled with a chemical called histamine. Normally, an allergen, like pollen, is the burglar that sets them off. But when you have FIA, exercise isn't the burglar, it's the bouncer. Exercise, especially high-intensity exercise, changes the way your intestines absorb food and raises your body temperature. This causes the allergens you've eaten, the cofactor food, to leak into your bloodstream at an accelerated rate. And the bouncer, exercise, is there saying, "Come on in, everyone!"
Once those allergens enter, immune cells go into overdrive and release histamine as if it were the end of the world. This is what causes the symptoms: swelling, dilated blood vessels, hives, and potential shock, low blood pressure. Here's where it gets really interesting. Studies suggest that FIA is responsible for 5% to 15% of all unexplained cases of anaphylaxis. But because it's difficult to diagnose, many cases go unreported. More than 30% of reported cases do not have a food cofactor. It's just exercise, period. Those are the burpee allergy cases I mentioned earlier.
Symptoms often progress in this sequence. 1. Intense itching and redness of the skin. 2. Hives, sometimes on the face or neck. 3. Gastrointestinal symptoms, cramps, vomiting. 4. Respiratory problems, wheezing, chest tightness. 5. Shock, loss of consciousness or dizziness. Now, if you don't have a dietary cofactor, what's going on? How can the simple act of running cause a life or death reaction? We're getting to the answer, but first we must address the main objection. Now, you may be thinking, I only have anxiety at the gym, or maybe I'm just a hypochondriac. I'm just not in shape. And honestly, most doctors initially dismiss it as simple panic or heat exhaustion. The problem is that fear can mimic the symptoms. Panic causes tachycardia and shortness of breath, but FIA causes tachycardia and a drop in blood pressure. The difference is crucial.
Many people who suffer from FIA, even in milder cases, develop an unconscious fear of exercise. Their brain says, every time I do X, I feel like I'm dying. So they start avoiding it. This avoidance behavior helps them in the short term, but it ruins their well-being in the long run. It's a psychological trap. Exercise, which is medicine, becomes poison in their mind. But the big question is, what do we do if our favorite sport is betraying us? Do we stop exercising altogether? No. In the next section, I'll give you the evidence-based steps to regain control. We've identified the problem, we've stirred up the panic, Now, let's solve it. You have to be your own health advocate. Here is the 3-step roadmap. 1. Keep a strict journal. Evidence suggests that the cofactor is typically ingested between 1 and 4 hours before exercise. For at least 1 month, keep a rigorous record of everything you eat, drink, including supplements and medications such as aspirin or NSAIDs, the level of exercise you did, and the outside temperature. AIE is not random. It follows a pattern, and your diary will reveal it. 2. Modify the X factor. If you discover a pattern, for example that bread plus leg training gives you hives, do an elimination test. Eliminate that cofactor 6 hours prior to exercise. If the symptoms disappear, you found it. If you don't have a food cofactor, the solution is intensity. Low-intensity exercise almost never causes AIHF. 3. Always carry an epinephrine autoinjector. If you have been diagnosed with or seriously suspect AIHF, your doctor will prescribe an autoinjector, such as an EpiPen. The point is this: don't be embarrassed to use it. It's there to save your life. If symptoms progress to the respiratory or shock stage, use it immediately and call the emergency number. It's better to use it and have nothing than to hesitate and be too late.
Remember that we mentioned at the beginning that exercise can feel like an attack? Now you know that for some people, it is. But with knowledge, exercise becomes your ally again. Don't let FIA or fear rob you of the benefits of movement. The difference between anxiety and anaphylaxis is in the physiology. Learn to listen to your body. Don't stop moving. Just move wisely and safely. Before you go, one last thing. Don't shower immediately after. Rapid temperature changes, such as a hot shower after exercise, have also been identified as cofactors for FIA. Cool down gradually. It's a small adjustment, but it's the finishing touch to safety. I want to hear if you've ever experienced this. Let me know in the comments. Like this video if it helped you, and click on the video that appears on the screen now, where we talk about another health topic. See you there.